Are you a fan of horror movies?
Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead.
What about cult classics?
Your move, creep.
If you are, you'll love Shocking Things. Please search for us on all the major podcasting platforms. To see our social media and a direct link to our podcast, please go to anchor.fm/shockingthings.
Good day, everybody. This is the PWZ podcast. I am Rick Del Santo. Joining me, as always, Showtime, Marcel Williams. What's going on, my man?
What's going on? Long time no see or hear. What is I've been busy recuperating from certain dings and bings from type 1 to none with Vlad, last man standing, so I couldn't do the last few weeks. But I am back, and we're going to talk about the world of wrestling and locally. So let's get this going.
Well, first off, I want to start off by thanking and welcoming all our new subscribers. We have reached, as of recording, 2,495 subscribers. Now, we've got a nice jump in the last week, which I'm pretty excited. So keep them coming, everybody. We will continue to provide you with quality pro wrestling content, me and Showtime, and I'll probably do some little snippets here and there during the week to keep everybody updated on other stuff. Also, there is an interview up with new MLW National Openweight Champion, the Suplex Assassin Alex Kane, on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's also posted to the bumwinebob.com website, as I am a frequent contributor to that site, talking lots of independent wrestling. On top of that, my last update before we start talking about the world of professional wrestling is I'd like to give a birthday shout out to my man Jake Hal of Alliance-Wrestling.com. Alliance Wrestling is one of my favorite websites that talks about the NWA and the United Wrestling Network, all their programming. And if you're, watching this on YouTube, why don't you just go on over to their page, the Alliance blog on YouTube, subscribe. He's trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and he's just this close. Go ahead and do it. And happy birthday, my buddy Jay. Marcel, this past Friday night, and we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about this past Friday. I want to get this because I like to talk about my Paradise Alley. I do. It was a Black Friday edition of Alley Fights. Let's see. Dustin Flash Waller came out and issued an open challenge. And what's his name? Greg Baylor? Somebody
Greg
that
Baylor.
Was a newcomer.
Brand new to Paradise Alley. Yeah.
Never seen this nerd before. But not to mention Lorenzo Vendetta and Cody Perrin came out. And, there was a four-way for the Alley Fights Championship. And, of course, Flash ended up taking the win, but it was a bit of chaos. Battle Academy is, I don't know, man. Ever since the, was it Chris Battle took the L from Flash and Flash got the title, it looks like the Battle Academy's been struggling a little bit.
Yeah, they've been struggling, and coming up at Under Pressure, you got Chris Battles looking to be the #1 contender against Bull Dread in a PAPW Championship contenders match. But it looked like the last Alley Fights, he was trying to get some gold before he get that title opportunity. Hopefully he beats Bull Dread. Hopefully not. But it like they trying to get some gold before their teacher gets it, and one of them was unsuccessful, and then we talk about later on, which is you.
Yeah, we got that definitely updated as they announced that Jake and Hunter would take on the Haven later on in the evening, and that's a match we'll talk about in just a second. However, the second match of the evening, probably pretty damn good match, if you do say so myself. Sunset Garcia and Zachariah. Garcia wins. And the Cure, Lucas Chase, is not happy with Zachariah.
No, he's not.
No,
You know?
and he had some not so nice words to say to Zachariah after Samoan dropping him. And you can go check that video out on our Instagram and our TikTok. So go check that out. It's pretty good, man. I got to tell you. What do you think's next for Zachariah?
Don't even know, man. I mean, it seemed like he was drinking the Kool-Aid of the Cure, Lucas Chase, and was following it. And then, Lucas Chase felt like he wasn't taking that Kool-Aid well, So
Yeah.
I guess he was failing. He failed with Bloodsaw and all this other stuff. So,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see what the future holds for Zachariah. But I enjoyed the match between Steven Garcia and Zachariah. It's real good.
Yeah, I think Steven Garcia is a bright young prospect for Paradise Alley. He's he's out there making a name. Basically, he's really really good.
That's real good, man. He's going out, going to other promotions, making a name for himself, and bringing it on to Paradise Alley as well.
Absolutely. Not to mention the Haven successfully defended the tag team titles against Jake Lynn and Hunter Tarka of Battle Academy. Of course, they were unsuccessful. Battle Academy yet again unsuccessful in their quest for gold, unfortunately. But I do have to say that I'll tell you, man, the Haven are killing it over there at Paradise Alley as well.
Yeah, they have. Ever since they captured the titles at Dieselmania 5, they have faced any team possible that comes in the Paradise Alley. And going forward, they're going to continue to hold it until somebody decides to take it from them. They had it the first time, they lost it. Now the second time, they're ready to hold it for a long term.
Of course, the main event saw you and the Cure, Lucas Chase, wrestle to a 25-minute draw, and then post-match, a brawl ensued for a good 5 or so minutes. It took a while to break you guys. It's possible. I think so. It was quite a while. It might not seem that long to you because it took a while to break you guys up and settle you guys for good, but it ended up being the crowd chanting 5 more minutes, and when it came time for that 5 more minutes, Chase just walked away. So
yeah, man, I was ready to go another 5 minutes, make it 30, and then Lucas Chase is want to take the low road and bounce. So hopefully we'll do it again. Like I said, put in the work and do 25-minute Broadway, and the crowd loved it. And hopefully we do it again. He has a opportunity at Under Pressure against Ichiban for the United States Championship, and then I got to face Matias for the PAPW Championship. So basically, 2 of us got title opportunities. So hopefully, I do my thing, which ain't hopefully, I will. And then Lucas Chase do his thing, and then we meet again.
That's December 11th. The JCC of Greater New Haven, Woodbridge, Connecticut. The Paradise Alley presents Under Pressure. You just mentioned the Matthias and yourself and Lucas Chase and Ichiban, but there's also, let's see, we mentioned earlier the Bull Dread against Chris Battle, but the tag team action, Hispanic Mechanics taking on Dustin Waller and Kylon King. And that's going to be a good match, I think, right there. I think that's going to be a great match.
And then we know the Hispanic Mechanics, they had that new attitude. They attacked the Haven.
Yeah. So I'm surprised that, I don't know, Hispanic Mechanics have not met up with the Haven yet, but I'm sure that's going to be down the road, yeah?
Hopefully.
I hope so. Not to mention Mike Skyro's coming into Paradise Alley against, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Was it Jay Haru? Is that
Jay
right?
Haru. Yeah.
I've never seen this guy before. Do you know anything about him?
Yeah, he's on the tutelage of Matt Taven. He's been doing the rounds. He's been doing the rounds in the tri-state area, including NEW. And Mike Skyros, we already know about him. TOS. Be doing work at TOS and other promotions in the tri-state area as well. So I'm looking forward to his one-on-one confrontation with these two.
All right. Survivor Series last week. Jesus Christ.
You was there. What are you talking about?
I know I was there.
You was there.
Holy shit. I wrote down in my notes what the fuck was the show?
This show was just a show.
It was just another show. I think that I probably would have watched a 2000 era Monday Nitro booked by Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara over this show.
Yes.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're right. You're right.
All right.
And listen,
All right.
I lived through that era. I watched every episode during that 2000 era. So I understand how you feel.
You go back and watch some of this stuff, and some of that stuff, it's way better than I remember. There is a lot of trash in there, and yes, it's Vince Russo's fault, but there's some good matches in there. That's all I can say.
Certain good matches, yeah.
Certain. Cruiserweights, but we'll get into that in the future. So I was in attendance in the show, and this was my first time in the Barclays Center. My wife's friend ended up finding tickets dirt cheap. We ended up getting them for $30 each, or $31.
Nice.
All right. So she messaged me probably 2-3 days before the show and asked me if I wanted to go. I said, all right, why the hell not, right? I went to SmackDown in Hartford, and I gotta say, SmackDown live in attendance was way better than Survivor Series. I thought SmackDown was a pretty decent show, with the exception I thought the matches were a bit short, but I don't.
Yeah.
So some of the things I have written down here. The crowd at one point was going nuts and chanting CM Punk.
Yep.
You heard that? I found out that this one really didn't pick up well on air. There was a chant for cowboy shit as well.
See, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I was there, and it seemed like it might have been just the area that I was in. And at some point, the people were doing the wave. They got lost and were completely bored with the show. And I'm not the people that were surrounding me talking about how shitty it was too. Not to mention that Vince showing up and doing a storyline about an ancient egg that was gifted to him by The Rock and it cost $100 million.
We're gonna talk about that, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, we're going all in right here.
That's great. We go all in. Okay.
The egg was a tie-in from The Rock's latest movie, Red Con. That's the name of it, right? Did I get it right?
It's Red Notice. Red Notice.
Really? Ah, shit. Yeah. Oh well.
It's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just, I'm not going to watch it either way. But it was just a way, basically kind of similar to how that Batista movie with the zombies, it was just a tie-in to continue the storylines. It's a way to promote the movie. So yeah, exactly. So at some point there in the show, the egg was stolen. And despite Vince never leaving his office.
At all. To us.
To us. At least he might have gotten up to take a leak or some shit, He questioned many of the wrestlers, and no one seemed to know where it was. But Sami Zayn somehow knew. So Vince said that everybody from both brands needs to be at Monday Night Raw because he knows who stole his damn egg.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Monday Night Raw, this is the only part I'm probably going to mention about Raw, what happens.
That's the only thing that probably was most important besides the stuff that happened off the air, right?
Oh, it's horrific. Yeah. So Vince basically said that whoever tells him who stole the egg will get a title shot against Big E later in the evening. So Sami says he knows. Then he doesn't know. But then he thinks he knows.
Yes.
Then he knows. But then he knows. He's an idiot. So I love Sami. Don't get me wrong. So basically, it comes to find out that it was Austin Theory that stole the egg, and Austin Theory just wanted to take a selfie with the egg.
Yeah.
He couldn't just go in and say, "Hey, Vince, I want to take a picture with the egg." This ancient 100. Yeah.
Yeah, he got nervous and took the egg with him to his hotel room and took the.
I am so sorry, Austin Theory, that you were put into such a stupid story.
Let's take take the pros and cons.
If you could find any pro,
I'm gonna do a little pro and do a little fix where it could have made sense. Okay. So basically, I'm just gonna say Austin Theory got some great TV time for the WWE Championship. That's all I'm gonna say. It's what he got out of this whole thing.
I guess that's what it boils down to, right?
That's what it boils down to. Now, I'll give that to Pro. Now, what could have been fixed, because it didn't make no sense. He did sell Sami Zayn. If he found the person, he'd get a WWE title. Now, he didn't get it, obviously, because truthfully, he said he was snitch and all that stuff. But there could have been some little wrench put in there because Sami Zayn is on SmackDown. So if you really wanted to make your draft so serious, Vince could have said, Sammy, you're on SmackDown, so you really wouldn't get a shot anyway. It could have been fixable. Yeah.
You realize that the draft doesn't even matter. The draft doesn't matter anyways.
The draft doesn't matter. But if you really wanted to make it matter for that little 10 seconds, you could have did that. But all in all, the whole storyline between the Egg and Vince McMahon to get Vince on TV, to get some pop rating, it was ass. And I understand that I sit on this couch and give my critiques of certain things, and Rick does the same thing, but we just gonna be real about it because I watch a lot of podcasts as I listen to it. The whole segments with the Egg was ass.
It did not get any kind of positivity whatsoever. No positivity whatsoever. I've listened to Wade Keller and whoever else talk about it. I've listened to Meltzer and Alvarez. I've seen JD from New York. Nobody has said anything.
Monster,
it was ridiculous. But this is not the only movie, or this is not the only sponsorship tie-in in Survivor Series, because we're talking about another one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Go ahead.
We'll get there.
And we have more, Rick.
It's unfortunate, but we do. Let's see. Did you... All right. So I was there in person. I'm going to say... Did I end up... I didn't mention about my disdain for the building yet, did I? Okay.
No, but go ahead and shoot, because I've been in the building before.
All right. That building sucks balls, okay? Well, it is a very nice building. They've got some pretty good food. I'll tell you that, because not eating all day and then paying $34 just for some chicken wings, fries, and a beverage was kind of ridiculous. Yeah. But that's expected when you go to a sporting event of this caliber, right?
Absolutely.
The major merch booth, I had to go find. I literally had to leave my seat and walk to all the way the other side. They didn't rent out like the store. You know how like sometimes they'll put the whole store in there? So they didn't do that this time. They just had one big booth downstairs. All the little ones didn't. I got my Bruno Sammartino shirt. I'm wearing it now.
Nice.
I was looking for that. That's they advertised it as on Friday night as coming out on Sunday. I said, I'm gonna buy that shirt. I am definitely that. I had my eye on that shirt, and as soon as I arrived, I said, I gotta go find that. See you later, guys. And that was it. Anyways, but so I get to my seats. The seating is not made for people of my height. Now I'm only 6'2". There's no leg room whatsoever. I was cramping up. My knees were like ridiculous. I'm lucky that there was a person here and a person here. There was no person directly in front of me, so I could at least put my foot up on that chair, but it really did not do much because, I didn't want to bother the people with my feet in their face. You get what I'm saying? It was just a very uncomfortable, very, very uncomfortable building. And I highly doubt I would go there unless I can either get like an end seat for guaranteed end seat or one that's like front row as well. Oh, the kid was there, Matt. The kid was there as well. He was a few rows ahead of me. So actually in the same section. So I did see Battle Academy's Jake Lynn there as well. So
nice.
Right down there. So he didn't threaten to kick my ass or anything.
That's funny. Most of the arenas that's barely like real new, because I know when I went to Arthur Ashe Stadium, they had great leg room and the seats was, but that building it's been built.
It's been there a while, right?
It's been there for a hot minute. But most of these new arenas like Barclay, I've been to the Dallas one where the Dallas Mavericks play. Those seats are tight. They are tight and they are high. They are steep. They're trying to fit as much people in these arenas as possible. And I know it was a few months ago. I've seen something on like the news. They was talking about how steep these things are, where people be falling and just tripping all over yourself because it's so steep. But
Yeah.
hopefully they improve these arenas more better. It's supposed to be modern, but it seemed like it's a pain in the ass. But you know.
Yeah, they definitely are. The one thing about it being modern that I really disliked is that they had all seem to have gone cashless. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I found this out Friday night going to Hartford, so I was kind of, annoyed a little bit. And then I was like, well, it's just Hartford. I went to Brooklyn with cash in hand, thinking that it was just maybe it was just the XL Center, but no, they also went cashless as well. And that kind of annoyed me because I purposely brought cash with me for the event. You know what I mean?
Do they do Cash App and stuff or no?
No, but what you can do is you can put money on a temporary credit card that they make. Yep, you can get like a little card. So mind you, it's like, do you like going places and swiping your card 3, 4, 5 times? Like when you go to a bar, do you swipe it for every drink? You get what I'm saying? You don't want three. You don't want 3 or 4 $10 swipes on your card. It's kind of annoying, and then there may be fees here and there, all that stuff. So it's kind of annoying. But they gave a spot where they had a machine where you can print basically a debit card. It came out custom number, all that stuff, and you can use it anywhere. So I said, you know what, I'm going to try that rather than swiping my card a million times if I decide to go somewhere. The only place I took cash was a merchandise booth, however, so I ended up getting one of these cards, and I had some more money left on it, so I used it to buy my shirt.
So it's paying the butt to
purchase
things now, unless you got plastic on plastic.
I know. But the WWE was actually taking cash. The merchandise were actually taking cash. But I don't know. It's frustrating. No, I wish I knew that they would take. It still spends the same. I wish I wish if they took Cash App or Venmo, PayPal. I got all that stuff on my phone. I got all that. Yeah. I wish they would take all that stuff. But I guess
Cash App is the best thing ever made. Cash App, Venmo.
It is, unless your kids are asking you for money, because that happens a lot. So
that's funny.
So the WWE. Oh, yeah. WWE never actually spoke about The Rock coming into the Survivor Series. There was chants of Rocky throughout the entire evening, and they hyped it up as his anniversary of, 20-year or 25th year anniversary,
25
right?
years, yeah.
You remember when he first arrived in WWE?
Yes, I did. I remember watching the pay-per-view live.
They booed the shit out of him.
They did.
And did you see? They showed the picture.
Jim Ross saying that he was a blue chipper. Like everything was good for him.
Yep.
And listen, I remember the whole match. I remember the whole night. Actually, that was one of the best Survivor Series that I add to my list. One of them. But it just, I remember that night fully. But when I think about what they did at the Survivor Series this past weekend, it was funny because they did all these videos. Mm-hmm. They advertised this movie with the egg. They even you had Roman Reigns do the rock bottom. So it was like one of those things where AEW sat there and made the hints that CM Punk was coming on that Rampage, and he actually came.
That was like the
reverse.
Yeah, that was like the worst kept secret in wrestling was the CM Punk.
This was the worst kept secret, but the thing is, he didn't show up.
Yep.
So even if you did it, you would think that he would have came at the end, but he didn't. So that kind of backfired, and
a lot of people.
We kind of see what happened with the Barclays Center next day. I think they only had 2,200 people in attendance.
The funny part is, after the show ended, someone had to come up on the loudspeaker and be like, "All right, everybody, that's it. The show's over, basically." So to make sure everybody, thank you for joining us. Just to make sure that everybody was just like, they're definitely off the air. You know what I mean? He's not going to show
like
up.
We're done. Stop sitting around. It's time to go.
And not to mention, and not to, he what's the word? He was overseas filming a movie
In Australia.
Yeah, he would not have been able to come back and make it, with all the COVID restrictions and all that stuff, to get back, not vaccinated, but quarantine and all that stuff to make sure that he was safe and stuff, So
I feel, I kind of feel like WWE kind of got bamboozled. I think The Rock probably knew he wasn't going to make it, and then they just was like, you know what? We're just going to keep on with the regularly planned and advertise with the movie because that's money. And they probably wanted the ticket sales to spark because they wanted to do the 25th anniversary of The Rock. So you may think he may come, which is kind of a bad move because you cannot keep on doing stuff like that because fans go like, okay, well, you advertise this guy to come. That's like doing an Undertaker. What was it, last year? Doing an Undertaker 30 years and he doesn't even show up.
Yeah, then he didn't have his retirement. They had a retirement ceremony at like the following pay-per-view or something like that, right? Or a couple months later, something like that.
No, he did have Survivor Series. Yeah, he did Survivor Series.
Was it Survivor Series? Oh.
Yeah, he had that.
Yeah. You're right. Yep.
But it's like doing that. It's like doing all the images and pictures and videos, and then all of a sudden he doesn't show up.
Yep. That was a huge letdown in a way. I mean, not that I'm a huge fan of his or anything, but
I mean, it didn't kill their business, but
no. But WWE does things like this, and it's taken like 40 years or so that people are starting to catch on to stuff. You know what I mean? And people are trying to get sick of their ways and their formula, etc. You know what I mean? So
listen, you said you was there, and people around you is getting bored of the content, so it's kind of bad that you have people sitting there, chanting certain other competition that they say that is not competition.
Right.
It's kind of hard to sit there and say that, and then you got somebody chanting somebody else that's not even on the roster.
When was the last time he even appeared? It's been a few years, right?
Who, The Rock?
Yeah, that him. That guy that they were they were doing the tribute to.
Thought you were talking about somebody else.
Nah. It's been a while.
The Rock. I think the last time The Rock was before the pandemic. Definitely before the pandemic. Yeah.
I mean, granted, they have to advertise these people coming in because it's going to boost the rating. People are complaining today. It's like because Edge is appearing tomorrow night. We're getting off subject, but it's okay.
No, it's fine. We still on subject.
Yeah.
Still on WWE.
Yeah. But they're advertising Edge, and people in one of these group chats were not group chats, but Facebook groups or something to that effect were complaining. It's like, oh, I remember when they used to have so many surprises, and why do they got to ruin it? And I'm like, because they need the ratings. Like they're they're getting just over 1 million. When we were younger in the Attitude Era, it was probably 3, 4 million, 9 million people. Like these high,
6.
Yeah, like everybody was watching. Now they cannot get those numbers. So yeah, they have to advertise when these big stars are coming into their shows because it'll boost. But the fact that they're advertising that and people are complaining, I listen to a lot of stuff. I've read a lot of notes on the shows and the ratings and stuff. And every time Edge comes on, people are tuning out. Those are some of the lowest ratings of the entire program.
And it's unfortunate because Edge is a great talent.
He is. He's a legend. Yes.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. But the thing is, the fans know what they want. I mean, he just don't click with the
modern era,
the modern crowd or the modern era. So it's like, but people gotta understand too. And I understand, like, some people go crazy about the ratings of how many ratings it is. Times have changed. We got so much streaming going on, and some of those numbers come back later, and AEW be doing like almost near 2 million viewers after all the streaming numbers are done. And sometimes WWE does the same. So, I mean, they're going off the numbers of the Nielsen rating still. So, you know, it's just times have changed. You know, people, like my grandfather passed away like a few years ago. Like it's just like those people kind of passed away, or either found something else to watch, you know, or grew up not watching it no more. So half those 5 million or whatever, they just tuned out, you know, especially after the Attitude Era. But the thing is, even that, they still had like 3 million viewers, but they still tuned out, you know?
Now it's probably just under 2 million, you know?
Yeah. But then you got people that want to question it, because then you have something like Dance with the Stars or other NFL doing like 5 million viewers.
And not for nothing, they always
7 million viewers.
They always dropped viewers during Monday Night Football. They always dropped viewers. However, but
they didn't drop viewers the way they did though, because you remember when,
because that was the hottest period.
Attitude Era time, the Attitude Era, they wasn't dropping, and then even Ruthless Aggression, they wasn't dropping like that. Now they're really dropping.
Now it's just
they've always been their dead period, but still.
Yeah, but back in the Attitude Era, it was a completely different kind of drop. It was like not nearly as many.
Not nearly, yeah.
Let's get into the Survivor Series a little bit more. Did you watch the kickoff show? Nope.
Yes, I did.
You actually did?
Don't play me. I watched it this time. Yeah.
I remember the last time you were like, I don't watch the kickoffs.
No, I watched it this time because I wanted to see Nakamura versus
Damian Priest. Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad you said. Thank you. Damian
Priest. Now, mind you, I love both of these guys. I think they're both amazing wrestlers, talents. The ending of this match was so fucking dumb. Fucking dumb. It's trash. A non-finish, disqualification, basically, for Damian Priest. Now, mind you, this is the only match that a SmackDown person won, I think, out of the entire evening. But it was. Yeah. We'll get into that. I got the results here. I got the results right here. So, and it was by disqualification. This whole, what's his name? Rick Boobs, whatever the fuck, however you say his last name.
Yeah.
This guy playing the guitar during the matches, and Damian Priest breaking the guitar and hitting Nakamura with it and getting disqualified. Now, I read online this is actually supposed to be a Priest heel turn, but I guess it didn't take. I guess more people cheered for it because they found the Boogs guy annoying.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
It's a New York crowd. What you think?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like trying to do that shit in Philadelphia, you know. It's gonna be a disaster.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty good match, I guess, for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, it went pretty good. Pretty short. It's these pre-show matches, they only give like 6-7 minutes, 8 at the most. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, and they're having 2 top-notch wrestlers like these. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was one of the matches I was really looking forward to, because it was a big matchup for Priest himself. You know, facing Nakamura. Not the Nakamura of New Japan, but it was Nakamura still. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's probably, I'm waiting for the day that when he does finally leave WWE, that
he's not leaving. I hate to say that.
I'm not saying now. It's going to be a while.
I don't think ever. He's on vacation. He said
it. He'll just, he's getting paid very high, and they don't use him a whole lot. Or he'll go out there for 6 or 7 minutes, and then guess what? He walks out with a big smile on his face and a nice paycheck at the end of the week. So what does he care? I would like to, eventually I'd like to see him having, when he was in NXT, he was putting on amazing matches as well.
Yes.
So him and Samoa Joe put on a great series. So
him and Sami Zayn as well.
Absolutely. So the match started, or the event, the main show, whatever you want to call it, started off with the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch taking on SmackDown Champion Charlotte Flair.
This was like the best match of the night.
Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you, I agree with you. Best match of the night. By far.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Show went downhill from here.
Yeah. It sucks when after the first match. But that's WWE. They always tend to have a bullshit matches
Well, that was
right after the
WCW
first.
2000.
I think it was actually WCW throughout their entire career, really. Like
First
until
match and then go downhill.
Yeah. So the fans were chanting, "This is awesome." Clearly, they've never seen an actually awesome match. This was very good, but
They had
WWE definitely. WWE fans are very programmed into watching mediocre professional wrestling or sports entertainment that these "this is awesome" chants just are out there for pretty good matches. It's not Benoit and Malenko or Guerrero and Malenko. You get what I'm saying here? Like those are. It was a good match, but awesome. I don't think they were awesome, but that's pretty. What's that?
It should have been last.
Yeah, this would have been an amazing main event, but we'll get to the actual main event soon. So, the men's Survivor match. This was atrocious. Let me tell you. Kevin Owens walking out in the beginning of the match and getting counted out right away. Tell me what the fuck happened here. Like
he did a Bad News Brown.
Yeah. That's a good reference. I didn't even think of that. That's a good one. You would just get pissed off and walk away.
Never did the job. Just walk away.
Did you read online about this whole thing?
No,
people were like, "Oh, he's leaving. He's walking to, he's leaving to go to AEW." Motherfuckers, his contract's not up until January. So, and I would not be surprised if Kevin Owens actually does resign. He's been treated very well there. He's been featured in the top spot, even though there might be some ridiculous angles, but he's been featured in the top spot for the most part.
Absolutely. Now,
he's one of the best performers they actually have there.
Hey, listen, it's up to him and that pen. So truthfully, he's making great money, and he's always that great hand for certain champions to battle. So
yeah, and how many zeros are on that paycheck? So
exactly.
So I mean, if he went to AEW, I think he'd be treated very well. I really do.
Absolutely,
and
he'd be a great addition.
Yeah, I think so. Get to see Kevin Steen reappear rather. Yeah.
The real Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
This is like the PG Kevin Owens.
So Seth Rollins was the sole survivor of this. It was predictable in a way. That's match number 2 of Raw winning. Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro defeated SmackDown Tag Team Champions the Usos. Number 3.
Okay.
What am I doing? 1, 2, 3. Okay. It was an alright match,
Which one?
The tag team, but yeah.
Tag team match was good. It was a solid match.
I'm starting. It took me a while. I think RK Bro is starting to finally click with me a little bit. It took me months because
I knew it was coming.
Well, the funny part about it is I'm not a Randy Orton fan, and I'm starting to become a Randy Orton fan. Now he's been in there 18 years, 15 years, something like that. Yeah. He's starting to finally
matches.
And he's been a good hand for the WWE for the most part. He's been loyal to the company. He's not wrestled anywhere else outside of here in OVW, so pretty much WWE, because that was a WWE property at the time. So, it took me a while because I was a huge fan of his father, so I was a little he didn't click with me. But now I'm starting to like Randy. I'm not saying I'm going to go watch like 8 hours of Randy Orton matches on a Saturday randomly, but I'm starting to enjoy him a lot more now. And the Usos, they're all right.
They're all right now with Roman Reigns right now.
Yeah.
But I kind of think sooner or later Riddle's gonna turn on Orton. Everybody thinking Orton gonna turn on Riddle. I think Riddle gonna turn on Orton.
Huh. I just thought I was just waiting for the Orton part. You think it's going to be
That's
the
what
opposite?
everybody waiting for. But I'm thinking that he's gonna turn on him because like, why would he not? Like he had so much patience with Orton. Orton did what he did and still had patience with him. So what would happen if he lost his patience and just destroyed Orton?
Right. I don't know, man. And you know, I don't know. I guess it would just be out of the ordinary if Riddle did it, and that's something that they need. They need stuff that's out of the ordinary, that's not predictable. Everybody's waiting for, you know, and that's the thing. It's like with wrestling and WWE in particular, everything is very predictable. So, with the fact
the story's there. I mean, the story's there. Orton never cared about anybody else but himself.
Right.
Now he's really going to care now because he's letting his guard down, and then all of a sudden, you know, Riddle could get, you know, they lose the titles and Riddle just snaps. You know, that's the only title that he got from on the main roster. So, you know, it just it's bound to happen. If it doesn't happen, it could have been a great idea. So
maybe you should join the creative team of WWE. You might get some
I
viewers.
heard too much stress. So and they be getting fired.
Yeah, they're letting people. What was that lady that had a job there for about a week? She was like a comedian, and then she didn't even know
Bobby Lashley's name.
She got Bobby Lashley's name wrong, and then so they fired her. So they call him, what did she call him? Bobby Ashley or something? And
Bobby,
it was like, what?
Bobby something, Bobby Ashley or something.
It was like, what the fuck?
It was crazy. Yeah, how you don't know these people's names that you sign in? But that's what they do, though. That's what I heard from everybody. They want people in there that doesn't know the wrestling business. So I mean,
they want comedy writers. They want shit like that. It's just a mess.
Writers, all that.
Yeah. Where's let's see what else. The women's Survivor match. Let's try this one.
Yeah.
Hot garbage. If I do say so myself.
With all due respect to all the ladies that try to work hard, this match was trash.
Absolutely. Why is this not working? Let's see. It was Bianca Belair, which that's my buddy. I love her. She's awesome. And it was pure trash, man. Like it really was. How many was there 3 countouts in this?
Listen, I want to talk about the most stupidest spot in the match.
Please, let's bring it up.
I'm sure you probably saw it and was like, "What the?" And then it was like, "Oh wait." So
I was sitting too far away.
She got eliminated. How many times was her body halfway in the ring for the count to stop?
Oh, yeah.
And the count still keep continuing.
Yeah.
Her whole body was in the ring. And then they pull her out, and the ref is still counting, which was if her head went in, then I'd be like, okay, well, basically, he could still count. But her whole body's in the ring. So everybody knows when your whole body go in the ring, the count restarts.
Yeah.
But who am I, right?
I forgot to mention the Battle Royal. I still got one match left, but I forgot to mention the damn Battle Royal.
Oh yeah, the Rock 25 years Battle Royal. That was the name of it, legit.
Sure. Yeah, legitimately. But The Rock didn't appear.
Exactly.
Pizza Hut did though.
Pizza Hut was all over this battle. They won it actually.
They got paid. I thought it was the dumbest thing when R-Truth just what's he do? Climb out of the ring. He wants to distract Otis, the big fat guy, Otis, with a piece of pizza because, you know, just some guy that's large will automatically be like, yeah, I want something to eat. I'll stop fighting for a piece of pizza because, you know. And it took over from there. The pizza just took over from there. I think it was the Street Profits that ended up getting it and getting the rest of it and throwing it out to the crowd and all that shit.
Yeah,
right?
pizza hit everybody in the head, one by one. Yep.
Almost is the ultimate
Almost.
winner. Yeah, thank you. I keep
It's
keep
It's
messing
all
it
right.
up.
Save me with the priest. It's good.
Yeah. It was this segment was atrocious. Let's be honest. We're gonna be honest. I'm gonna be
It was
honest.
just made for Omos. They try
Yeah.
to go back in the day when Andre the Giant won the Battle Royals, all the big guys. So it's a big spot for Omos. You know, they got a hard on for Omos. I'm sure he's a great person personally, but they really got a hard on for him, and it's okay.
I feel bad for him in a way because he's getting the way that I'm viewing him every time I see him on TV is like watching Elegante or Giant Gonzalez, whatever you want to call him, because he's a guy that can't necessarily work, but they like him a lot. He has a nice size, and the potential's there. He's just not very good.
He had a big compliment last week. You know, Undertaker compared him to Andre the Giant, so that's a big compliment from the Undertaker. And almost recognized it and thanked him for it. It was a big compliment, but that was a real big compliment. I seen Andre the Giant as a rookie before, the WrestleMania 1s, the WrestleMania 3s, where
he's tall and skinny.
He put some work in. And so, I mean, everybody starts from somewhere. So I'm not saying Omos is going to be ass or whatever. He's still green. So I'm going to give him a chance, and I'm not going to shit on him. But this match was made for him.
I'm not going to shit on him because, like I said, these you got to be really fucking bad for me to shit on you. I mean, and be doing stupid stuff like Vince in his old age and some of the creative.
Yeah.
I kind of mark out a little bit over here and complain way too much, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is. Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defeated WWE Champion Big E. This match was just mediocre. Let's be honest. Probably not one of Roman's finest moments, but it was okay.
Yeah, I watched the match on Peacock. Take it back now, Peacock. So basically, the match was alright. It got real good at the end. But it was not clicking. There's nothing against Biggie, nothing against Roman Reigns. It seemed like the match wasn't clicking, and the crowd wasn't there for it. Maybe if they didn't do 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, did the Bloodline versus New Day, maybe it would have been something fresh. But they already did that, so it wasn't fresh. So it just wasn't clicking for the crowd and attendance. I didn't get into it until like midway, probably towards the comeback part. But I mean, truthfully, the match wasn't clicking for anybody. I'm sure you said the same thing, right?
Live, it was. Nobody seemed to really care. I'm going to tell you, for a heel, Roman Reigns gets a huge pop for someone that's supposed to be a heel. He gets a huge pop. When I saw him SmackDown on Friday, everybody was going nuts for him. This show, everybody was going nuts.
Yeah, the character that he plays is really getting the fans invested. Yeah. So, I mean, when he turns babyface, it's going to be a wrap.
Well, that's what I said years ago before he turned heel. I said they got to make him heel because it's probably going to be the best thing for his career. I said this 3 years ago. And what happened? I was right. So, the thing is, like, turning him babyface... After this, it may work. Who knows? Maybe you got to go through the motions.
I'm not saying do it right away. But
no, God no. Yeah. So, however, in Hartford, I did get to see a dark match. So Roman and Big E did compete. There was a 6-man tag. I had it up posted, but I ended up taking it down. It was the Usos and Roman against Xavier, Big E, and Drew McIntyre. Sorry, I had to remember it. So, Big E and Roman did get in there for a little bit against each other, but not for too much. So, where's Kofi? Is he out injured?
No, Kofi is on fraternity leave with Mustafa Ali as well. They're on a fraternity leave.
Okay. I was not entirely... Oh, they both have children now, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right, because I was going to say Drew McIntyre with the New Day. They ended up chanting. The crowd ended up chanting Drew Day.
That's funny. Of course they would.
That was bad. AEW Dynamite 11/24/21, which was last Wednesday. No, this Wednesday. Jesus Christ. God damn. CM Punk comes out for his match against QT Marshall. And before QT comes out, it's MJF interrupts and the two cut a promo on each other, including Punk calling MJF a less famous Miz. After a commercial break, we come back and it's CM Punk versus QT Marshall. Punk wins after he hits the GTS on QT. Christ, that's a lot of initials to try to remember.
That is, God bless you. But I would like to talk about the promo segment. But with
it went a little long.
Yeah, it went a little long, but I loved it. It was CM Punk saying that Tony Khan, if he has a daughter, MJF can marry the daughter to get ahead. And it was a lot of stuff thrown out there that was thrown out there without names, but we already know who is what. But
yep,
it was a great segment to set up for a match that may be coming up real soon.
There's a lot of shady digs at WWE in there. Quite funny though. Throughout the entire, it took up about 20 minutes of this show of this hour.
It was the first time that they ever did a talking segment on this show for Dynamite. So I'm not mad. It was something that I was invested in. And don't get it wrong, like if it's a promo, whether for WWE or anything else, because I know if fans watching this probably think we love AEW before anything else. Not that. If the promo before the show makes sense, where you're building up for a match, okay, that's fine. But if it's some rambling talking to talk about something else that is going on that you already advertised to me that's going to happen, I don't like. How you doing a promo?
I get exactly what you're
already advertised.
We've talked about this. We've talked about this before. WWE announcing whatever match it was a couple weeks ago in the main event for Raw. And then all of a sudden, what happens? The two wrestlers come out or was it Drew and Big E? Is that what it was? A couple weeks back? And then they came out and argued and somehow a match. But I'm just like, but they advertised it in the morning. So.
Yeah. So this one was different because they're just building towards the next event, and which is fine. That's how everybody did it back in the day. They just set up a promo to build this match for the next big event, which probably would be Battle of the Belts, which is we got an announcement of that. That's going to be in Greensboro Coliseum at the infamous Greensboro Coliseum. But it's just
famous WCW building or NWA building back in the day.
On the Starcade. So there we go.
You got a pop out of me right there. So like you said, a lot of people are probably going to say that we're AEW fanboys. Okay. I'm okay with that because, it's like there's a lot of freshness to the company, WWE stale, and WWE was doing fresh things. We'd be talking positive about WWE. Anytime WWE does something really good, we always say how good it is. We don't sit here and shit on it. So, but
when they have a good pay-per-view event, when they have a good pay-per-view event from top to bottom, we say it was a great event. Absolutely. We don't sit here and just poo-poo all over it. But if you're pulling out terrible content, we're gonna say that. I mean, it's been times where Dynamite wasn't that good, and we'd be like, okay, well, it was just simple Dynamite.
I'll tell you that exactly when I'll get lost. There's been some episodes of Dynamite where I've got lost, and I'm just like, this is garbage, or not necessarily it's garbage, just not into it. Some people are like, oh, it's a throwaway. Exactly. So, next segment on Dynamite. This was possibly one of the greatest things here. Okay, and I'm not talking about the match. Colt Gunn and Billy Gunn defeated Beer Country. Of course, post-match, Sting appears. Austin Gunn leaves the ring post-match and tries to charge Sting, in which Darby Allin explodes out of the tunnel and basically kills him with a tackle. This, I said, holy shit. when I saw this, and he looked like he fucking literally ran him over with a truck the way that he sold this shit and bounced. I was, God damn. It was awesome. I loved it. The match, not so much, but it was, you see Billy Gunn at his age. He's damn near 60 years old. He's looking just as good as some of these. Yeah, he's looking just as good as some of these guys that are 25 and 30 that are wrestlers. That's the shape that this guy is.
How
Almost
old is he
60.
again?
He's almost 60. He's like 50. Swear to God. He's getting up there in age, man. He's getting up there. 55, 56, something like that. He's like up there.
Close enough. He looks great.
Yeah. Bobby Fish was backstage with Adam Cole. Best friends interrupted them, and Cole was upset and would make best friends pay for it. Apparently, Undisputed Era and Bobby Fish and Adam Cole are back together. They're going to be, I think they fight on Rampage. Excuse me. So, which we're going to get into.
We'll segue to that in a minute.
Yep, we'll get into that. TBS Women's Championship Tournament match. Thunder Rosa defeated Jamie Hayter. Excuse me, I always try to mispronounce the name. And she is advancing into the tournament. My pick for the title to win this is going to be Thunder Rosa. I have a feeling that she's going to be the one that actually wins the TBS title. What's your opinion on that? Yeah. Oh, of course.
This match was real good.
It's Thunder Rosa, of course.
Yes.
I'm a mark for Thunder Rosa. I'm sorry.
Nah, it was real good. Thunder Rosa continue to show her work, but Jamie Hayter is real good as well. And I'm looking forward to their futures, but I don't think Thunder Rosa is going to take it. I think her main goal is her and DMD for the main goal, the main women's championship.
I'd like to see them compete again because that match that they had where they had Dynamite was just phenomenal, amazing.
Yeah. One of the best matches DMD ever had.
Absolutely. That actually convinced me that she was actually pretty good because before that couldn't give two shits. Like literally.
Yeah, me and you both. I hate to say that, me and you both.
Yeah. Backstage, Alex Marvez is interviewing Chris Jericho. Ask what was next. Yes. You wouldn't know it by looking at him, but he asked what was next for Le Champion 2.0, and Daniel Garcia interrupt the interview. Jericho told them not to interrupt him again. If they did, they'd get their teeth knocked down their throat. And then we had the treacherous Friendsgiving with Tony Schiavone and Britt Baker. This storyline. I mean, not that it's really even a storyline, but it's been going on too long since like the beginning of the company, practically, with Tony Schiavone and Britt Baker.
Favorite person.
Yeah, I love Tony.
I love Tony.
Me too. He's a legend, man.
Before you say something, I'm just gonna say it because I never mentioned it before, and I'm saying it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Schiavone is like 2020. He killed it. I'm just gonna tell you, for him to take the time off that he did, and the pandemic happened, and then Jim Ross had to stay where he was at under quarantine, and then for him to carry the ball between when it started all the way until Jim Ross came back is just unbelievable. He still had it, and I gotta give my praise to Tony Schiavone because I meant to put it on Twitter actually last year. I forgot to do it, but this dude really, with all the time off that he had away from wrestling to go do baseball and have his little cup of coffee at Starbucks, no pun intended, he still showed that he is one of the best announcers in pro wrestling.
He even admitted, and I don't know if it was in an interview I listened to or in an article I read, that he became so disenchanted with WCW for the last 5 or 6 years that he literally hated the wrestling business. He hated wrestling.
Yes.
And it was because, and especially the thing is, if you listen to those old tapes, I was sitting here like, man, Tony used to be good. He sucks now. Mm-hmm. If you go back and watch and listen to him, you can definitely tell that he hated fucking wrestling.
He hated it. Yeah.
He took 20 or 18 years off. Took about 8 to 18 years off before he came back. I think the first show he was on was an NWA show prior to signing with AEW, maybe NWA 70, I think. So, yeah, yep. It was really good to hear him, you know. But when he joined AEW and that first episode of Dynamite aired, man, I popped to hear him on TNT for the first time in damn near 2 decades. It was awesome. It meant something. You know what I mean? He sounded great. He sounded like, hey, I was on vacation the last 20 years and I'm back. So
yeah,
good for him.
No,
man.
I enjoyed the first episode of Dynamite when he popped up on the screen and said, "What a good time to be a wrestling fan." And it was like, yeah, for me to see him and Jim Ross together, probably since 1987 or 1992. Like, it's been a while since two was commentating. Yeah, probably since the 1992 year of WCW.
I think before Ross left WCW, when Ross left WCW, I think Shivani was back for like a year or something like that. Yeah, you know, Yep.
So it was just a great time to see both of them on screen together, because I felt like two of them together, because I watched Starrcade 1987 and both of them on commentary was great throughout the whole Starrcade 87 event. So yeah, I'm showing my age, ain't I? So
that's all right. 1987 is one of my favorite years of wrestling. I'll tell you that.
Yes, it is. So, you know, Tony Schiavone continues doing a great work. I understand that Jim Ross is going to do his thing with his radiation for the cancer that he has. I wish him all as well. But, you know, Tony Schiavone going to have to take the steering wheel once again for a few weeks. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bryan Danielson defeated Colt Cabana. Okay, so these are two of my favorites. These are my two of my favorites. You know, since I grew up watching, not grew up, but I was already an adult at this point, watching them in Ring of Honor, and I expected them to go out there have a really good match, and it was all right. You know, it was nothing special, but Bryan's not going to be able to go out there and have a 5-star classic every time. You know what I mean? This was just another match to basically further the storyline of his heel turn.
So, I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly what it was.
I know what's up, you know. But it was, at the end of the match, they had Paige. Paige came down at some point, and he and Danielson had a face-off. So at some point, we're going to get that down the road, I believe, right?
Absolutely.
So that's a match I think is going to be great. That's going to be probably another 5-star classic, I'm guessing.
It should be happening probably at Battle of the Belts. I wouldn't mind seeing it then, but because they got a long way to build to the next pay-per-view, Revolution. That's the way in February.
I think that's I was going to say, I think it's in February, because it's every 3 months, I believe, is the show. So yeah. So the main event for the show, 8-man tag. I got some good stuff to mention here. This was great.
Go ahead, shoot.
Lucha Brothers and Cody and Pac lost to FTR, Malachi, and Andrade. This was a really good match. What really about Cody? Cody and his weightlifting belt, throwing it in the crowd, and then whoever got it threw it back into the ring.
Which is very dangerous. I'm just going to tell you, it's very dangerous. It's not a T-shirt. It was a weightlifting belt. But
those things are heavy.
Throw it out to the crowd, which isn't safe either. No. So I'm just going to be real about it.
You get hit in the head with that buckle, it's not going to feel good.
It's going to be a wrap, So it's just but somehow the weightlifting belt ended up under the ring, and then it ended up around Cody's waist. So it was a retro John Cena-esque thing, because we remember that from John Cena versus RVD for ECW One Night Stand.
Did you see the Cody's face when he realized it was in the ring? He looked and he had this "what the fuck" look on his face.
Dude, what you expect?
It was hilarious.
It was great though, but still,
Andrade took it, threw it under the ring, and then somehow it ended up in the ring again, and Cody just took it and put it back on. He's like, well, fuck this. He's like, well, damn, I'm not over anymore.
Nah, but he did throw it back to a crowd he did throw it back to a person that really wanted it. But still, this is the story that keep continuing about Cody Rhodes, because now he's getting the John Cena love. So trust me, it's coming. If it's not going to come, somebody's not thinking, but it's coming.
He says he's not going to turn, but
He said,
yeah, that's what he says. Who the hell knows, really? But
trust me, he's going to get AEW championship match though.
yeah,
It may not be this year or next year, but trust me, it's going to happen.
AEW Rampage from Friday, November 26th, the Black Friday edition. I had to watch this on delay because I was at Paradise Island.
Another Black Friday edition.
Exactly. Adam Cole and Bobby Fish defeated Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy. Go for
It
it.
was a good match. Enjoyed it.
Yeah. I tell you, it took a fucking good long time for Orange Cassidy to grow on me because I don't like comedy wrestlers. But once Orange Cassidy proved that he can actually wrestle, what's that? Yeah,
Snuck up on.
yeah. Once he proved he can actually wrestle, and then I've talked about him many times on this podcast how I disliked him, but then how I kind of grew into liking him. And Wheeler Yuta, I'm very glad to see him in AEW. He's a very, very good wrestler. I've watched him the last 2-3 years in various independent promotions, and he's a good wrestler, man. He's really good.
Well, I know,
So-
I know that I was on the page with you with Orange Cassidy, but now they kind of switched up everything where when he does do those kicks, it's kind of a distraction to throw somebody off. So I'm glad that they do cover that. It's okay, but
Yeah,
he can wrestle, so I give him that. He could have been not wrestling and couldn't know how to wrestle and do this stuff.
yeah. He could have
It
been
would
like
be
our
in trouble.
friend. Yeah, absolutely. But the character is the one that his character got over in a way, so it was kind of, yeah, it just took a while for me, but I'm on it now. It's not like I seek out the matches just to watch, you know what I mean? But when he comes out, I'm like, damn, that was pretty decent, you know what I mean? It's like, on top of that, Britt Baker had a Black Friday deal match, which I thought was funny, against former AEW Women's Champion Riho. If Riho wins, she gets a future title match against Britt Baker, and the winner was Riho. Riho is like, 100 pounds, if that, 70 pounds. She is so tiny. It's ridiculous. So, I think she was a pretty good wrestler, though. This was a pretty good match.
Yeah, she's I give it. She's like a good storyteller. I've seen a few of her matches, even with Nyla Rose. So she knows how to tell a story in the ring with her size. But
Right.
it was a real good, solid matchup. It did something different that usually WWE does. She beat the champion, so now she get a title shot.
Right.
They don't do that too often on AEW.
Nah. AEW, for some reason, they like to keep you thinking.
Yes.
Whereas on the other side, it's a little bit, more difficult to.
Same old creative.
Yeah, same old. Main event saw Eddie Kingston defeat Daniel Garcia. Post match was 2.0 jump Kingston. In turn, Chris Jericho comes out and cleans house.
Yeah. Set up some Chris Jericho and 2.0 action.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston, I think, is killing it out there in All Elite Wrestling. A man that's got finally reached, the national big time TV after God knows so many years. So,
It's been a long time with him in the game, and he's starting to really show his talents. And I think he's next in line for a mid-card title run. Maybe not an AEW championship run, but a mid-card title run. Absolutely.
you just see him with the TNT title.
I can see him with TNT title.
You think they're going to add any other titles at this time? Maybe a secondary tag?
Probably a Turos championship.
A what championship?
A Turos?
Uh-oh. A Trios title? Trios title?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Trios title.
I think it's possible that they were going to. I mean, there's been. It's all right. That's what we do here on this. That's what we do here. No shame. But I have a feeling that they're going to add. There was talk about that like a year ago, I think. But a lot of people said, they don't have enough. Like, they got a lot of people there, I think it's definitely possible. I'd love to see it, dude. I'd love to see it.
It's something different.
You don't see it. I mean, do you remember WCW had it? I bet you don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's very short-lived. And then at one point there was actually no belts, but they were still considered the champions. I mean, if you
Reapers had it.
yeah, Freebirds had it. I think Junkyard Dog and who else? He held it with
Young Pistols, I think.
yeah, something like that. I
Young
think it
Pistols had it with somebody.
might have been JYD. So it might have been. I'm trying to remember because, goddamn, I'd have to go back and watch a video because it's racked my brain. I'm the professor, but I keep forgetting stuff lately in my old age. So
You had Old Warriors and Dusty Rose have it. Those 6 man
they,
tag.
yep, I think that.
That
And
was back in the Crockett days as well.
yeah, absolutely. I remember that part. I do remember. Yeah, and yeah, the trios title would be something nice to add. They should do a nice tournament. You know what the thing of that is, like, AEW does these tournaments and they spread them over months on television. Should
Which
do
is
like
a good thing.
yeah. But I'd
More
like
content.
to see it. Yeah, more content. Yes, I'd like to see a nice 1-day tournament though. Just one.
I would love to see the Owen Hart, which is coming soon with the news of how they go do a tournament. I wish that would be one night. That should be a 1 night deal.
I think that should be a 1 night. Yeah, I heard that they were going to do something like that. Maybe do it on pay-per-view. Maybe do it a free television special on like a random Saturday night or something like that. Maybe do it on BR Live for free. I mean, they haven't done a BR Live show for free in quite some time. So
Nah, they haven't. I don't even want to talk about BR Live. They gave me an issue the other day. It took them. Oh my God! I know we didn't talk about Full Gear. The only thing we can take from Full Gear is about Hangman Page becoming the new AEW champion by beating Kenny Omega, and you know, we give all as well Kenny Omega, who's got to get some surgery done. We probably won't see him until next year.
he hurt
But
his shoulder. He sure hurt his shoulder, so he's out because of that. Not for nothing. You said so. He's been suffering from vertigo for 2 years too. How the fuck do you wrestle a match with vertigo?
exactly, shows how great it is, huh?
Exactly. I was gonna say, for all those people that make fun of him, and no offense to Cornette, you know, I'm a Cornette fan, but you know, and all the people that are sitting there talking trash about Kenny, like, the guy's a workhorse. You know, It's not a joke. He's been named the best wrestler in the world for a reason. Do I agree with it? Not necessarily, but the guy is fucking awesome. The guy is great. He puts on probably the most consistently great matches in headline, you know.
With anybody.
So, yes.
With anybody.
I mean,
Joey Janela, anybody.
Yeah, okay. I don't think Janela's that bad though. I like Janela. But
nothing against Janela. I mean, he's straight.
No, he's just been moved to like AEW Dark and Elevation. Yeah. So speaking of Elevation, your buddy Lucas Chase appeared on there last week. So
yes, he did.
That's pretty much it about that. So I don't know, you know, it's good to see guys from our area getting on, you know, getting in there.
Yeah.
Get a chance yeah, so I like seeing guys I know. Waves and Curls have been on there a few times, and I haven't seen anybody else. What's it? Rick Recon was over there. So
JT Dunn was on there once upon a time.
Yeah, actually,
Mike Verna
was JT Dunn in back. Yeah, Mike Verna definitely was. JT Dunn backstage during the breakup of the fight with Marvez and with Jericho, and was that him backstage and wearing a suit? Because it looked like him. It looked like him.
I think he did a match for AEW Dark Elevation. I don't know, was it Elevation?
One of them. I get the two confused. Yeah, I remember him, but I think that he was there again recently. So because the segment was, I know like the breakup he was there. Yeah, now he's got short hair. He doesn't have long hair anymore, so it was kind of hard to tell. So
yeah,
if it was actually him or not, and it happened so quick. So. What else is in store for the week? What do we got coming up?
We got coming up this week, really nothing much. I mean, I just got training to do, but besides that, I mean, I know we got to talk about more professional wrestling. I know we got Dynamite coming up. We got Raw coming up.
Oh,
we got yeah, I know. Get the adult liquid ready for Raw.
I will have to stop and get a keg of beer just for Raw.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Rampage coming up, and then we really don't got no more pay-per-views coming up until day one for WWE or
We'll
January
talk.
1st.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that as it.
So it's not
Yeah,
for TV.
WWE. Yeah, WWE does not have any pay-per-views in the month of December because TLC
For
was
the first
canceled.
time ever.
Yeah,
For
first
a while.
time in probably.
This 94?
I was going to say 96-ish. So probably you might be right, 94. I don't know because when did they go monthly? Was it 96, 97? Where because before it was like 4 times
It
a
was
year.
actually, if you want to like be legit, I was 94 was a good guess, but actually 95 because they did the Rumble and then WrestleMania 11, and then they didn't do nothing between those two. So since 1995.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's when they started with the in your houses, and then
Yep,
and
which
then
was
they
in May.
just yeah, yep, and then they just started monthly. Those were supposed to be the bargain pay-per-views. I mean, now we just get them for free or whatever. You pay your minimum for Peacock, but for a long time they ended up becoming the same price as the regular pay-per-views.
Yeah, you know that ground zero turned into 3 hours, and it was regular price.
Yeah. Yep. Coming up this week here, we have author Vinnie Berry, who just wrote a book on Wrestleville. He got this, and he sent me a copy, and it was signed by former NWA World Champion Tim Storm, which was a nice surprise to get in the mail.
Nice.
This week, we're going to be talking to him about his new book, and also we're going to have the NWA's Jeremiah Plunkett on this week as well. So we'll be talking to him. Outside of that, there's not much else planned until next Sunday, where we're just going to be talking trash about the game.
Not talking trash. I mean, we just
You know what I mean.
Indians.
I'm sorry.
But
Let's say it.
if it
Giving
is trash,
our humble
if
opinions.
it is trash, we do tell them it's trash.
Yes.
I hate to say it.
Yeah. And we got some time, so we're going to break into the. Hopefully, we'll get to talk a little bit more independent stuff. Because this week we didn't. We've been incredibly busy for these last weeks. A lot of times around this time of year, we slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of time to sit down and watch, and I ended up working a lot. So, try to get in a little bit more MLW next week. Maybe even talk Impact. I don't know about that, but there's supposed to be some good things. I did watch Turning Point last week, though. Kind of disappointed in the women's match. Thought Mercedes Martinez was going to walk away with the women's title from Mickie James, but of course it's Impact, so they have to. I mean, not that Mercedes Martinez wasn't a former WWE talent, but they always seem to have to put their. Do you ever notice this about Impact? Anybody that comes straight from WWE, they automatically put the titles on them. Do you notice that?
Yes, absolutely.
The Inspiration, formerly the Iconics, were just released a few months ago, and
they tag shots right away.
Yeah, it's really upsetting. It's like they do what everybody blames AEW for doing,
Which they don't do.
Which they don't do. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
CM Punk and Daniel Bryan went. First of all, Daniel Bryan went against Kenny Omega, non-title.
Mm-hmm. Non-title. Yep. A 30-minute
like,
draw, probably the best match of the year.
Yeah. So like CM Punk still haven't had a title shot yet. So it's like, and then not only that, like
he's been gone for. Yeah. Go ahead.
They want to say that they putting them over, like just winning every match. I'm like, that's not true. They going against guys that don't even matter. QT Marshall. Nothing against them. Hobbs.
Nothing against. I like QT. He's just.
I love Hobbs. Hobbs is good.
Hobbs is great talent as well.
Time.
Yeah,
what I'm saying? They're just good hand players that's going to put these guys over, going in to build them up when they get their title shot. Maybe they'll put that person over the champion, which is they go do their job, and their time going to come soon. It takes a while. Kurt Angle then went. First time ever, TNA didn't. They took their time putting the title on Kurt Angle. It took it almost a year. But it seemed like Impact is having that time where as soon as they get these names, they want to put the titles on to get some type of variety.
Back then, look at the roster that was in TNA. You know what I'm saying? And people were really behind guys like AJ Styles, who I guess would be considered a homegrown talent at that point.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it was a different roster. Now it's like Scott D'Amore just is like, okay, oh, you're from WWE, here's the title. However,
Exactly.
but Moose has the championship now, and I think Moose is over there killing it. I'll be honest
Yes,
with you.
yes.
That guy,
Who's in the
I
greatest
want.
life?
Yeah, right now he's killing it. I would have liked to have seen Josh Alexander, with that title longer than 2 minutes or however long he held it. But you know, but I think Moose, the last couple, that was really my only reason for tuning into Impact for a while was because of Moose the last couple of years. So
Yeah, I have fell out of Impact Wrestling once they got brought by the Owl. So I tried. I really tried.
it's hard. It's really a hard watch.
It's so hard, yo.
I watched
And I
the
watch
pay-per-view.
TNA all the time, and
Yeah,
now it's
me too. Me too. I try. I don't even try to watch it live on Thursdays. It's like Friday morning, Saturday morning. I'm like, let me check this out. I end up fast forwarding through it and be like, well, that was a waste of my time. Like 5 minutes it took me to go through it. But I watched the pay-per-view that they did. I didn't watch the whole thing. I caught it like in the middle. So I watched like the last 3 or 4 matches. And I guess if they're booking bigger shows like that, which it still holds like less than 500 people, their shows, whatever, that studio that they're doing, it's like they're even really trying to go further. Remember, TNA had thousands of people. Mind you, they were probably
2007 was like their best year.
They probably held 2,000 people. I think that arena that they were in Florida. Were they letting fans in for free for that, or like because it was Universal Studios just or was
all
it
the Universal Studio shows? They was coming in for free. Yeah.
No wonder they got 2,000 people. They couldn't even draw.
But I think the AEW Dark does the same venue, but they charge the tickets. So I remember seeing something that they say that they charge, which is a smart move. Like, why would you not want to make money?
Yeah. Oh, they're probably because I mean I think didn't WCW did tapings there too in the early to mid 90s.
Yeah, but did the fans come in? No, wait.
I don't think they paid. I think they did either.
I read the thing. I think they did do it for free as well for them.
I think it was either WCW Worldwide or Pro, or maybe they combined the tapings. But
they did both.
Yeah, but it was definitely, and it was just a terrible setup. Like it was just, they had a rotating stage, like that
rotating ring.
Oh god, that was ring and not a stage. Yes, it just looks so bad, and you can ask Paul about that.
Roma rotating while they were wrestling. That's the only thing I was mad about.
That could have made them dizzy or fall over. So it's just like it's a balance match. They got to try to keep their balance, Ask Roma. I think he did tapings out of there, so he might know a little bit.
I gotta ask him, like, what did you think about the rotating ring?
All right, my man. I guess that's it for this week.
Yes, sir. Once again, check out PWZ Podcast. Check me out at Showtime Marcel on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook under Marcel Williams. And if you got any questions, you could shoot me some questions, whatever you want to talk about. And you can shoot to Rick Del Santos. Give it to him, my man.
PWZ Podcast at gmail.com, PWZ on Instagram, The Rick Del Santo on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe, like, share. Come on, man. Like, we're almost at 2,500. We're like 4 away. So,
hey, listen, I thank you.
Keep it up.
I thank you. Continue to share. Continue to love the content. Give us a thumbs up. If you want to do some Q&As, let us know. We want to get y'all involved, and we continue to build on. Let's go to 5. Let's go to 5K. Can we go to 5K?
Let's do it. Let's try to get it done.
5K.
All right. It's not that hard. All you got to do is click that button. That's it.